massive crackdown on ISIS, the National Investigation Agency arrested 15 operatives today of the banned terror outfit during multiple and widespread raids across Maharashtra and Karnataka. NIA teams, in fact, swooped down on as many as 44 locations in Padga, Thane, Mira Road and Pune in Maharashtra, and Bangalore in Karnataka early this morning, and apprehended 15 accused for promoting terror and terror-related acts and activities of the proscribed organization. Huge amounts of unaccounted cash, firearms, sharp-edged weapons, incriminating documents, smartphones and other digital devices were seized during the raids conducted as part of the NIA's ongoing efforts to disrupt and demolish the attempts of the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, which is called ISIS, to carry out violent acts of terror and take innocent lives. The accused, operating on the directions of their foreign handlers, had been actively involved in various terrorist activities, including fabrication of IEDs for furthering the violent and destructive agenda of ISIS, as per NIA investigations. NIA has further revealed that the accused, all members of the ISIS Maharashtra module, were operating from the Padga, where they had hatched the conspiracy to spread terror and carry out acts of violence across the country. Initial investigations have revealed that the arrested accused had self-declared the village of Padga in rural Thane as a liberated zone. They were motivating impressionable Muslim youth to relocate in this area from their place of residence for strengthening their base. Saqib Nachan, the main accused and the leader and head of the ISIS module, was also administering the oath of allegiance to the Khalifa of ISIS to the people joining the proscribed organization. NIA has in recent months conducted large-scale raids and busted different ISIS modules by arresting several terror operatives in the ISIS terror conspiracy case in a bid to scuttle the organization's heinous and violent anti-India agenda. We'll talk about this with our guest, but first up, let me in fact take a quick update from my colleague Javed Hussain, who's also joining us at this time to give us the latest updates as to what's going on. Javed, अगर आप मेरी आवाज सुन पा रहे हैं?
जी
जावेद, अभी क्या ताज़ा जानकारी मिल सकती है इन रेड्स को लेकर? किस तरीके के टिप ऑफ हैं और कितना बड़ा है ये नेटवर्क? क्या मालूमात हुई है अभी तक एजेंसीज को?
देखिए, आईएस मॉड्यूल पर जो इस मॉड्यूल को लेकर जो एनआईए की तरफ से जो रेड की गई है, ये एक बहुत बड़ी रेड है, क्योंकि एक साथ कर्नाटक और महाराष्ट्र के 44 लोकेशन पर रेड कंडक्ट किया गया। इसमें थाने और उसके बाद जो कर्नाटक और पुणे, ये मिलाकर तकरीबन 44 लोकेशन पर आईएसआई ने रेड कंडक्ट किया था। आईएस मॉड्यूल को लेकर ये रेड किया गया था। इसमें एनआईए के पास हम बता दें आपको सूत्रों के हवाले से कि एक स्पेसिफिक इंफॉर्मेशन थी, जिसमें ये एनआईए को यह पता था कि किस तरीके से आईएसआईएस मॉड्यूल को हिंदुस्तान में कर्नाटक का जो साउथ एरिया है और महाराष्ट्र, इसके अलावा कई और स्टेट भी हैं, लेकिन महाराष्ट्र और कर्नाटक में आईएसआईएस के जो हैंडलर्स हैं और जो इनके एक्टिव मेंबर हैं, वो एक बार फिर से आईएसआईएस को स्ट्रॉन्ग करना चाहते हैं, एक्टिव करना चाहते हैं, जिसको लेकर एनआईए ने पहले भी कई स्टेट्स में एक साथ रेड को कंडक्ट किया था, जिसमें कुछ सस्पेक्ट लोगों को डिटेन किया गया था, कुछ लोगों को अरेस्ट किया था। अभी हाल ही के दिनों में तकरीबन 7 लोगों को के खिलाफ एनआईए ने चार्जशीट भी दाखिल किया है कोर्ट में। लेकिन इस रेड के बारे में हम आपको बता दें कि आईएसआईएस के मॉड्यूल को लेकर एनआईए काफी समय से काम कर रही थी और उनके पास स्पेसिफिक इंफॉर्मेशन था कि किस तरीके से पुणे मॉड्यूल और कर्नाटक मॉड्यूल, यानी कि कर्नाटक में मंदिर के पास कार में जिस तरीके से ब्लास्ट करवाया गया था और पुणे मॉड्यूल में कि जिस तरीके से चोरी की बाइक करने के बाद जो एनआईए के 4 मोस्ट वांटेड, जिनके ऊपर 3 लाख रुपए का इनाम है, जिसमें से एक को दिल्ली पुलिस की स्पेशल सेल ने गिरफ्तार भी कर लिया था। इस मामले में 3 जो मोस्ट वांटेड एनआईए के हिट लिस्ट में, वो अभी भी फरार चल रहे हैं। लेकिन हम आपको बता दें कि जो पीएफआई, पॉपुलर फ्रंट ऑफ इंडिया, जो कि 2022 में गृह मंत्रालय की तरफ से प्रतिबंधित संगठन है, इसके जो एक्टिव मेंबर्स हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं हिंदुस्तान में आईएस मॉड्यूल के जो एक्टिव मेंबर्स हैं उनसे पूरी तरह से कांटेक्ट में है, उनसे कनेक्शन में है और लगातार हिंदुस्तान में जिस तरीके से ये जानकारी कि 2047 तक इस्लामिक स्टेट पूरा बनाने की तैयारी है इनका मॉड्यूल जो है पीएफआई का और आईएसआई का। तो ये दोनों जो पैरेलल जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑपरेशन है, ये कहीं ना कहीं हिंदुस्तान में एक बार फिर से अपने आप को एक्टिव करना चाहते हैं, जिसको लेकर एनआईए लगातार लंबे समय से काम कर रही थी और कई सस्पेक्ट को एनआईए ने इंट्रोगेशन पे पूछताछ के लिए भी उन्होंने कई लोग को डिटेन लिया था उस वक्त। उसके बाद से एनआईए के पास ये लीड थी कि किस तरीके से साउथ का, अगर हम तमिलनाडु की बात करें, कर्नाटक की बात करें या फिर हम केरल की बात करें, इसके अलावा अगर महाराष्ट्र के अलावा हम गुजरात की बात करें, उत्तर प्रदेश की बात करें या हम बिहार और झारखंड की बात करें, तो आईएसआईएस के मॉड्यूल पर कई एक्टिव जो मेंबर्स हैं वो पूरी तरीके से अपने आप को एक बार फिर से आईएसआईएस को एक्टिवेट करना चाहते हैं। और जिसका जो सिंपल एग्जांपल है कि आईएसआईएस मॉड्यूल के जो 4 वांटेड हैं जिन पर 3 लाख का इनाम है, जिसमें से शहनवाज को दिल्ली पुलिस की स्पेशल सेल ने अभी पिछले महीने गिरफ्तार किया, उसके साथ उसके 2 और एसोसिएट्स को भी उत्तर प्रदेश और दिल्ली से गिरफ्तार किया गया, माफ कीजिएगा झारखंड से। तो ऐसे में जिस तरीके से इस पूरे मॉड्यूल को एक्टिव करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, उसको लेकर एनआईए की एक साथ 44 लोकेशन पर इस रेड को कंडक्ट किया गया था, क्योंकि एनआईए के टॉप सूत्रों का मानना है कि कर्नाटक के 2 जगह पर पुणे और थाने, महाराष्ट्र के इन इलाकों में तकरीबन जो हैंडलर्स हैं और जो एक्टिव मेंबर्स हैं यहां से इस पूरे को ऑपरेट करें। क्योंकि जब एनआईए की जो ऑपरेशंस जो इन आतंकवादी की अगर हम बात करें या फिर खालिस्तानी दूसरे जो प्रतिबंधित संगठन उनकी बात करें या फिर आईएसआईएस की, तो इसको लेकर लगातार एनआईए की ताबड़तोड़ ऑपरेशन के बाद इन लोगों ने अपने आप को पूरी तरीके से सरेंडर कर लिया था और सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म के जरिए ये अपने आप को एक्टिव कर रहे थे, एक दूसरे से कनेक्ट कर रहे थे। तो जिस पर एनआईए के जो केंद्रीय जांच एजेंसी इन्होंने अपनी पूरी तरीके से नजर बना रखी थी और इस पूरे नेक्सस को किस तरीके से तोड़ना है और कैसे इस पे काम करना है, इसको लेकर एनआईए ने पूरी तरीके से इस रेड को कंडक्ट किया है। और इसमें तकरीबन कुछ लोगों को जो जानकारी अभी तक कि शायद कुछ लोग अभी डिटेन भी हुए हैं और कुछ बहुत कई स्पेसिफिक ऐसी इंफॉर्मेशन है कि कुछ जो एविडेंस है वो भी एनआईए के हाथ लगी है। जी
Right, Rushali, my colleague, is also joining us at this point in time. Rushali, if you're there with us. Okay, Rushali is going to join us momentarily, but let me in fact introduce the guest who will be speaking on this important discussion for the next half an hour. Major General Sudhakarji, geopolitical, strategic and defense expert, with us on the program. Mr. RVS Mani, former Under Secretary, Internal Security, is also with us. Sumit Peer, senior political commentator, joins us on the program as well. Last but not the least, Mr. Gautam Mukherjee, senior journalist, also with us on the program. Mr. Mani, this ISIS threat, we have spoken about this on a number of occasions, but what's come out at this point in time, the bust and the kind of expanse that we have seen in terms of what these people have been trying to galvanize, how shocked or how not shocked are you by seeing this?
See, I am well versed with the entire thing because Saqib Nazar is a person. He had been sentenced in the Jagat Gopur and Villi Parle. I had filed an affidavit in Mumbai High Court in this case. Atif Nasir Mullah and Saqib Nazar case. Tried under Portad. He was imprisoned, and I do not know what the sentence was. He has come back after this thing and gone and settled down in his Padga village. And he has anchored the entire thing. And this is what the judiciary also and the people at that time should have said. The terrorists should not have been given this type of thing where they can come back into the society because there is no reform. Because once a radicalized person, there is hardly any chance of reformation. So I'm very surprised that the judiciary chose to give him that sentence by virtue of which he has come out, and now he has anchored the entire Padga village. He has gone back to the ancestor village, set up the thing and anchored the entire module, sleeper module from there. He has set up a nursery of terror, whether through high tech, because he is very well aware of this. He has anchored it, and unfortunately, if you see the same 2009 affidavit, I think August 2009 affidavit of mine, I had said that he is techno-savvy, the modern terrorists are techno-savvy. I have given a full lead. I recollect the entire wording of that. So it is really surprising that how how was he given the release even after completion of the sentence? Is there no power of review or anything like that, remission or something like that, whether he came out on remission? These are all very important questions. See, the larger issue of the NIA has done a wonderful job. The IB has been the intelligence-led operations. The PFI people or the PFI never dies. It comes in some other avatar, maybe as a Jamati Elzar, or maybe as a Indian Mujahideen or whatever it is. and the entire part of the PFI area of operation was only this belt of this Chitpavan and all those areas, the Pune, Belgaum, Bangalore, coastal Karnataka, Bhatkal, all those areas. So this is no surprise that the PFI footprint is visible. The Saqib Nasr anchoring is an important factor in this, and I don't think the NIA will relent now, because some of the associates have already been caught by Delhi police and special cell led operations, and one from the Shahnabaz and others from the Jharkhand and all. These are all factors. But again, now the question is, what is the extent, what is the level of expanse of this penetration, what is the extent of his recruitment, how large is the sleeper cell? This will come over a period of time, whether the connect is with Al-Qaeda, whether it is with Hezbollah, whether it is with the this Nasrah, the Syrian terror organization. These are all certain, Nasrah or some Syrian terror organization. These are all factors which will come out over a period of time, and it may have international ramification. And number two is Kerala. There has been a nursery of recruitment for ISI. Is the power base shifting to coastal Karnataka and southern Maharashtra? These are all factors which will come in the future days to come. But Sakin Nasab has anchored is a very, very disturbing factor, because 2003 Willy Barley and 2002 Ghat Gopur blast, he was accused, he has been sentenced to that imprisonment on the Terror Act. Those days we did not have a very strong terror legislation when he was, because his act had happened before the UAPA amendment in 2008. UAPA came out in 2000, the UPA repealed the POTA Act, UAPA came and UAPA was very soft, and subsequently 2008 after the Mumbai it was reinforced. But only the real tooth of UAPA has come only in 2018 after the new government came. These are all factors I am putting in front of. Thanks.
Right. General Sudhakar ji, you know, the PFI, the SIMI, all these organizations have, been reincarnated with different names. And now it's come to such a, place or a platform where ISIS, an organization which has seen, being driven out or being extinct in the rest of the world, is finding a foothold in India. What kind of a worry does or should it evoke in the administration?
Vinit, thank you. Good evening. Thank you for getting me to your show. Excellent topic you have picked up in NewsX, and I must compliment everyone for doing so. As regards your question, let me give a little a broader perspective, global perspective. You see, we all know way back in 1996 when Osama bin Laden was alive. He's the one who had announced jihad against India in 1996 and several times thereafter. The global terrorism peaked in the year, if I recall correctly, it was 2014. And consequent to which the Western alliances led by USA, they claim that they broke the backbone of ISIS in the year 2017. However, my research and routine studies, they indicate something else. ISIS, any ideology, its backbone cannot be broken. Physically, they may have been shattered, decimated, but the ideologies have split apart and traveled long distances. One component of ISIS has gone to Africa and predominantly is operating with, I would say, openly and blatantly in Nigeria, northeast of Nigeria and the Central Africa. Second component is very much prevalent in Europe, whether we call it or give it cognizance or not. The third one is the most important one, is the ISIS Khorasan. ISIS Khorasan, essentially, it covers the area. Earlier it used to cover Central Asian Republic. Now it covers Central Asian Republic, all 5 states, covers Afghanistan, Pakistan, India. To large an extent, the caliphate goes, it travels, covers a distance of almost about 8,000 kilometers, goes across right up to New Zealand. So without going too much into detail, all I am saying is, let's not forget about a promulgation of a global map called as Wilayat Khorasan, which was published by none other than Daesh in the year 2014. And they had asserted themselves that sooner or later, the entire world, this map was depicting the global order to be predominated by the Muslim religion. and particularly the Sunni Muslims, the Islams. So, although since 2014 till now, 2013, in 9 odd years, there has been no organized terrorist attack against either USA or Europe or in India. In India, if I recall correctly, in the year 2018, I think, there was this Bhopal Ujjain passenger which was subjected to some kind of an explosion, and 17 odd the passengers had got injured. That aside, I do not think any organized crime has taken place. But that should not put Indian administrator into complacency. I foresee that 2024 elections being round the corner, elections USA being round the corner, many states around in the Indo-Pacific are going in for elections, including our neighbor Bangladesh. And I foresee there will be an all-out concerted effort by forces inimical to India. As it is, the whole world seems to be after India's growth. So I foresee they are planning for very big and important strikes against our strategic assets. We need to be careful. Let's not unnecessarily get swayed by these new names, PFI and whatnot. Mr. Mani is very well conversant, and we have a moving computer. Sumit is coming, put us wise on the subject. But I foresee great danger for the stability, internal order within the country. Therefore, the NIA has to be given kudos. They have taken a proactive step based on surgical intelligence. Very, I would say it's a great act. That is the way to chase them. They have to be put on a kind of a defensive mode by getting after them in an unpredictable manner. And last but not the least, Vinit, is that there is a corridor. Sooner we take cognizance of, better it is. PFI may have been banned, but I am alive to the situation which is building up. Earlier, the red corridor used to cover large number of districts. Now I am said it's gone down to 45 districts or even less than that. The LWE I am talking of. But this LWE, which is to start from Pashupati to Tirupati, may have reduced in size. But China is all out to reactivate this. There are many elements. Can you believe if I share 8,500 youths from the Golden Triangle of India? What is Golden Triangle of India? It is Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and you have Kerala. There are techno-savvy graduates who have moved and joined with a force in the northeast Bengal, Karimganj and that area. They have joined with the Mujahid group. They have formed a formidable militant organization, out of which a year and a half back, a good number of these youths had moved to the Afghan-Pakistan corridor, joined the Taliban. They have undergone training. They are fully poised to be launched into J&K and into India through different multimodal transportation means. So they are waiting for the chance. So, and second point is, there is also a corridor which is building up along the Western Ghat and touching the Aravalli, going right up to Pathankot and Samba. So we need to remain mindful of all this. Let's not unnecessarily remain blissful and ignorant about. State like Rajasthan is actually brimming with these kind of elements, and we don't seem to be taking cognizance of it. It's about time that India takes stock and takes proactive action the way NIA has taken now, and put these people in the chase. Back to you, Vinit.
Sumit, your thoughts on this? Is this a growing menace that needs an intervention at a level which is just not state-wise but national as well?
Vinit, thanks for having me on your show. In fact, Mani Saab and General Saab have put it so eloquently. Compliments to them. The problem here is, or the opportunity here is, we need a Patriot Act. We need a Patriot Act where we can act in advance and without any consequences. You are fighting a radical Islamic jihad. It has to be as clear as that. They believe wherever Islam is not, you have to make it Islam. And if you look from 13th century till today, everybody, whoever got power in the world has come here for Ghazwa Hind. And the Ghazwa Hind is not going to die. Even Houthis were just talking Ghazwa Israel. You see, Hindus, Christians and Jews are always on the target. You have to Islamize the whole world, and these all have various names: PFI, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Hizbul Mujahideen, PFI, ISIS, ISIS-K, whichever name you want to give them. The idea is only one: to by Sam, Dam, Dandabed Islamize the whole world. And as per some theories which I've heard, that they believe that if you have to really stop the debacle of the Islam by 2024, a major change will happen in India, which is the election of India. A new change will happen, which will start and which will be not good for the Islamic religion as such. So after 2024 and before 2048, you have to convert India into 100% Muslim country. That is the only way to stop this debacle of Islam. That is the theory they have. I don't know right or wrong, but this is what is happening. So these all people are still active. They are grouping. Thank God we have NIA. Thank God you have Amit Shah as the Home Minister. Thank God you have Modi as the Prime Minister. Thank God you have UAPA. Unless, and Mani Saab is here, you know what he has faced in life because of this. Everybody knows, everybody must have read his book. And people who don't know, this man has paid a lot of price just for being patriotic to the country. Now, at least we have some acts in place, but is UAPA, NIA and all sufficient? No. We need a nationwide ATS, we need a nationwide STF, we need a Patriot Act. We have to take them out before they take us, because we need this existential crisis. You are fighting ideology. Look, they don't need land, they don't need Zar Zameen Zoru. You are fighting ideology where I want this. What is Hamas today? Hamas is ideology. What is Hezbollah today? It's ideology. Al-Halali, ideology. So you are fighting ideology. Look at the tyranny. Let's not forget, Vineet, couple of days back, Hezbollah's deputy chief has issued an open threat, Pehle Jews, and then Christians, then we are coming to India and we are going to settle Hindus. These are open threats which are coming from no other but the deputy chief of Hezbollah. And Hezbollah is a sizable, formidable, jihadi organization. And these are like who are controlling fiefdoms. What they have been not able to do here in India, they have been not able to control fiefdoms in India, unfortunately. Though they want to control fiefdoms in India, but they have not been able to control fiefdoms in India. By declaring this as a self-administrated states and all, now the problem comes when you have these jihadis getting along with the local gangsters, getting some political patronage. It becomes a very, very dangerous cocktail. Then you have ideology on the top of it. It becomes a typical black forest cake with a cream layer on the top. And you add the cherry, that is Islam khatre mein hai. So when these all things come up, it becomes a very difficult cocktail to deal with. The challenge here is that we are doing a fantastic work. NIA is doing this, UAP is fantastic, Government of India is doing fantastic, even the state polices have cooperated. All kudos to them. But looking at the amount of menace, are we prepared that? Is this good enough? No, we have to do more. Yes. And especially after Prime Minister Modi has taken a very, very bold state, he has said, look, we are with Israel. Trust me, we need all these jihadi organizations across the world are antagonized. They never expected the Indian Prime Minister to do that, and Prime Minister Modi is absolutely right in doing what he said. Now, when you take such a difficult state, now do you have the machinery at the local level? Do you have the machinery at the national level to meet this menace? Because I'll be very candid. If it gets political support from some parties, there are parties in India who are giving lawyer assistance to the people from ISIS and ISI ki bhai ye beguna Musalmano ko pakda. Now there are people who are trying to give them cover fire. Kohli wala incident happened, and before, when the Aghadi government was there, we were told ye to unki aapas ki rivalry thi. Then we came to know it's Sartan se jura. So political patronage is there, political support is there. There are people who are telling us 15 minute police hata do. Let's live with the reality.
Okay.
Now we are So how are we going to handle it? That's the bigger question.
Okay. Let me see what Gautam has to say on this. We have also run out of time. Gautam?
Well, Vineet, one of the very important things is this 24 election, which to all indications are showing a third consecutive term for BJP with Modi at the head. Now, this kind of thing, when you have consecutive terms, is an opportunity to consolidate your ideology in turn. And this is what is worrying the opposition and the raft of people that include the Islamists, the people from abroad, like the Soros group, communists, Chinese, etc. Now, crackdowns are the best. And this kind of thing deserves full kudos. The UAPA Act, as has been mentioned, is most useful. Whether we could actually have a Patriot Act is a case in point. But the problem is the constitution of the judiciary, which is quasi-independent of Parliament and has resisted all kinds of oversight over the years. They hire themselves, they do as they please, and they tend to treat terrorists on the same basis as everybody else. This is what Mr. Mani was just saying. How did they let that man out? That man is dangerous. We knew it. They should have known it. And to say, you know, he served his term and we let him out. So in other words, the judiciary needs to be tackled in the next BJP term, where either you reform it by considerable political pressure, where you force the judiciary to reform themselves, or you actually bring them under parliament and don't listen to all this business of separation of the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Right.
Therefore, it is going to be a sort of dictatorship of the political power, party in power. We have a real threat, as all the other panelists have pointed out, and we need to have a completely different track to tackle terrorism. If we tackle terrorism, extremists, then what will happen is the moderates amongst the 200 million people, Muslims, will fall in line. But if these people get away with it, then not only will external forces be encouraged, but the domestic people will continuously become radicalized. We talked of corridors. The other panelists talked of corridors. Of course, because in every state, the Muslim population is concentrated and growing. So they form ghettos rather easily, and are if radicalized, can be very potent. But at the same time, on an optimistic note, the Hindus have been under pressure for over 1,000 years. They're not going to be taken by this.
All right, great points there. And of course, the UAPA, obviously a tool and a remedy to all these issues that are spurring up when it comes to the ISIS fomenting its place in the heartland of our country. We'd like to thank all our panelists for being a part of this conversation.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.